You know, there's something totally mesmerizing about a roulette wheel, isn't there? That spin, the sound of the ball bouncing around, that little bit of hope that maybe, just maybe, you figured it out. A lot of people believe there's a trick to it, some secret system for beating the house. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at what the math really says about your chances.
So let's just get right to it. Can you actually outsmart this thing? Is there some hidden code in the streaks and patterns that everyone else is missing? That's the big question we're going to answer.
All right, let's dive in. Our journey here really starts with something called the roulette illusion. And it's all about this gap, this massive gap between what our brains think we're seeing and what's actually physically happening with that wheel. And here's exactly what that illusion looks like. See, our brains are just hardwired to find patterns in everything. It's what we do. We see red come up 5 times in a row, and our brain just screams, black has to be next, it's due. We see a number hit twice in an hour, and we call it a hot number. But the wheel, it couldn't care less. It's just spinning out totally random outcomes. It has no memory, none whatsoever. Okay, so if it's not about secret patterns or hot numbers, then how does it really work? Well, it all comes down to some really simple but incredibly powerful mechanics that are running the show on every single spin. So here's the most crucial idea to wrap your head around. Every spin of that wheel is a completely independent event. The easiest way to think about it is like flipping a coin, right? If you get heads 5 times in a row, what are the odds of the next flip being tails? It's still 50-50. The coin doesn't remember what happened before. Well, the roulette wheel is exactly the same. And what that means in practice is that the wheel isn't tracking a thing. It's not trying to balance out the reds and the blacks. It doesn't know what you bet, it doesn't care what you bet, and it sure as heck doesn't remember that red just hit 5 times. Every time that ball drops, it is a brand new, completely fresh start. Now we get to the real heart of it all, the reason casinos absolutely love this game. And it's not magic, it's not a secret, it's just math. Let's talk about the built-in, totally unbeatable house edge. So imagine this. You put your chip down on a single number, let's say 17. The ball spins, it clicks and clacks around, and boom, it lands right there. You won. The casino pays you 35-1. Your one little chip just turned into 35. That feels amazing, right? But hold on a second. Let's look at the true odds. On a European wheel, there are 37 pockets. You've got numbers 1 through 36, plus that single green 0. So the actual chance of hitting your number wasn't 35-1, it was 36-1. You see that gap? That one missing unit they don't pay you, well, that's everything. That is the house edge. It's the casino's built-in profit margin. It's how they guarantee that over millions and millions of spins, they will always come out ahead. It's like a tiny mathematical tax on every single bet placed at the table. And get this, not all wheels are created equal. The American version adds a second green pocket, the double 0. Now, it might not seem like a big deal, but wow, it changes the math completely. That one little change almost doubles the house edge, sending it from 2.7% all the way up to 5.26%. That extra pocket makes the game significantly more expensive to play in the long run. So this brings us to the next big idea, betting systems. I'm sure you've heard of them. Things like the martingale or the Fibonacci. All these different strategies that promise they can overcome that pesky house edge. But if the edge is literally built into the wheel, can they really work? Let's just take the most famous one, the martingale. The idea seems pretty smart at first. You bet on something simple like red. If you lose, you just double your bet. You keep doubling every time you lose until eventually you win. And when you do, you get all your losses back plus a small profit. It sounds foolproof, right? Until it isn't. And here is the simple, brutal truth of why it fails. You can change your bet all you want. You can go from $1 to $1,000, but you can never, ever change the fundamental odds of the spin itself. That 2.7% or 5.26% house edge is always there, grinding away on every single bet, no matter what your system is. So what do these systems actually do? Well, they can change the volatility of the game. Make the wins and losses feel more dramatic. They might help you delay a big loss for a while. But what they absolutely cannot do is get rid of the house edge. Eventually, a long enough losing streak will come along and you'll either hit the table's betting limit or completely wipe out your bankroll. The math always wins. So, if you can't beat the math and the systems are basically an illusion, what's left? Well, it turns out there is one real advantage a player can have, and it's got nothing to do with how you place your chips. And here it is.
The real win isn't financial, it's clarity. Understanding the math isn't going to magically make you profitable. What it does, though, is it changes your expectations. You stop seeing patterns that aren't really there, and you stop expecting a mindless spinning piece of wood to suddenly remember what it did 5 minutes ago.
And that really brings us to our final thought for today. In a game that is mathematically designed to always favor the house in the long run, maybe the only true jackpot you can walk away with is a crystal clear understanding of exactly how the game works. What do you think?